If you're an average Canadian with traditional values, including the belief that there are two genders, then CSIS, the Canadian Security and Intelligence Service, labels you an extremist. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. CSIS released their public report 2023 earlier on this year, and it was updated as late as May the 7th. In that report, CSIS listed several categories of violent extremists, one category of which was ideologically motivated violent extremists. And in that category, there was a subcategory labeled anti-gender. And I will link that report in the description below so you can read it for yourself. You can download it, have a copy. So what is anti-gender or the anti-gender movement? Well, I'll read to you from the report CSIS's definition, and I think that you'll find it a little disturbing. The anti-gender movement falls within the gender identity-driven violence category of IMVE, which stands for the ideological motivated violent extremists, and is defined as the ideological opposition to the social cultural shifts that are represented by the integration and acceptance of gender theory, including acceptance of the 2S LGBTQIA+ community. By that definition, if you believe in the traditional definition of men and women, you are anti-gender, and CSIS will categorize you as being ideologically motivated and a violent extremist. This is ridiculous to me. If you believe that the XX chromosome defines a woman and the XY chromosome defines a man, how does that make you anti-gender? To me, that means you're just the sane person who believes in biology. They do say in the report that not all people who hold these beliefs will resort to violence. But the fact that they have said that a person who refuses to go along with this sociological cultural shift is anti-gender and therefore an extremist is, in my view, very alarming. In the report, they only reference one case study. 3 people were stabbed when a 24-year-old male walked into a University of Waterloo gender studies program, stabbed the teacher and 2 of the students. And that happened not quite a year ago. If anti-gender was a legit category of extremists, why have they only referenced one case study? Why haven't they referenced statistics? Why haven't they given us any in the report? Because they haven't. You'd think maybe they would identify groups that they feel are extremists. You'd think maybe they would give you examples of forums where people have posted extremist beliefs regarding anti-gender, but they haven't. They've referenced one case study. I am personally under the belief that you should treat everybody with dignity and respect, even if that person doesn't share the same beliefs that you do. Everyone has the right to live their life the way they see fit, as long as they don't interfere with the rights of other people and how other people live their lives. But you should be able to criticize a belief or behavior that you don't agree with. That's called freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is inalienable. You have it because you exist. It has been recognized by the UN, and it's covered in the Charter of Rights under freedom of expression. So if you criticize something that you feel is immoral or damaging or harmful, you have the right to criticize that. You have the right to say your piece. You do not have the right to encourage hatred or violence, but you do have the right to criticize what you think is wrong. So if I have a problem with transgender story time in preschools, in kindergartens, in primary school, does that mean I'm an extremist? Or maybe I just have a moral objection to this type of material being presented to children where it's not age appropriate. As far as I'm concerned, if a dude wants to be referred to as a lady, I'm totally happy to oblige him. But if I misgender him because I'm a sane person, I shouldn't have a fear that the Canadian Security Intelligence Service will target me and think that I'm an extremist. I'm just a traditional dude, and I have traditional values. I have traditional beliefs. that does not make me an extremist. And me mistakenly misidentifying somebody as a male because they have an XY chromosome when they want to be referred to as a female does not make me an evil person. Reading between the lines of this report, it seems to me that CSIS wants to be able to track movements of people who don't agree with this neo-gender theory because somehow we're a danger to Canadian society. But I think we're just sane, rational people who don't subscribe to an irrational, insane view of the world. It doesn't mean we hate anybody. It doesn't mean we're going to be violent towards anybody. It doesn't mean we're going to treat them disrespectfully. It just means we don't agree with that. Does that mean I'm anti-gender? That doesn't seem right to me. People who have traditional values, who don't subscribe to the belief that gender is fluid, that there are more than two genders, are not extremists, and they shouldn't be treated as if they are. I believe there needs to be a narrowing of this definition. So long as a person does not foment hate or violence, they should be allowed to say whatever they feel is appropriate, without fear that the Canadian Secret Police, the Canadian Security and Intelligence Service will be keeping tabs on them. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear what you think. Put it down in the comments below. Civil discourse is always welcome. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But before you go, if you're one of the 71% of Canadians who think that there should be an early election, then there's a link to a petition. I'd like you to follow that link, sign that petition, urging Mary Simon, the Governor General, to do her job, dissolve Parliament, and call an early election. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.